So what is the timers for an hour?
Add separator.
It's creates a delay between request to request. So in a real time, if you go any end user, right, you won't be hitting all the pages in a single time. You will take some time to read, or you will take some time to think, or you'll just take some time to understand the pay where the options are there available or there. Correct. So, but in a JMeter, it's already recorded everything. So JMeter know what is the next API, so it will hit immediately. Correct. So, but in the real time, we should avoid that one, because the servers are like they're ready to handle specific type of load. It's not like it's not like users will hit URLs every time and every second. Okay, so let's see that example first. So let me take our recording only. So here we'll use this table to much understanding the timings. Okay, so now let me let's put one here. One, okay, and we'll go to the table and we'll simply check. Okay, and if you see, this is start time, right? Start time means JMeter has triggered this home page API at this time. Correct. Okay. And same as if you take login page, and this is the start time of this API, and again this is start time. So what exactly this 12 second is the start time? Because if you take this 10.62 and a response time is 2165, what is the response time? Response time nothing but time taken by the API to get the response. Okay, so if I add these two, the start time plus this response time, you will get this one. Correct. So let's see. Let's see your calculator. So anyway, we'll calculate from the seconds only, because 740 is the common, right? 10.062 plus 2165 means 2.165 seconds, because default milliseconds. 2.165. See what we got? 12.227. So if you see here, it's 12.235 millisecond is difference. You understood, right? So what this means? So immediately when this API got the response, immediately it's triggering other API. Okay, now let's see for second one. So 12.235 plus response time is 0.765. 0.765. See, it got 13.000. So 2.
Start time plus sample time. Okay.
So you got 13.000, and you can see 13.002.
Okay.
Okay, because API starting, let me open the paint. Don't remember start time like that. If you remember this concept, right, so it is easy. Okay, so client and server.
Request,
Is request and response. Okay, so here is a T1, which is a start time. Okay, let's take 10 o'clock. and you got the response at T2.
Okay.
So what is your response time now? T2 minus T1. Correct. So let's say got it. It's started at 10 o'clock 01, and you got the response back at 10.02. So what is response time now? T2 minus T1. 0.1 second. That's our response time, right? Same way in the J meter, this is a start time.
Okay.
Instead of coming back time, no, they're displaying sample time only. They're not displaying T2 here. So if I add this one to this one, I will get a next request.
Okay.
Or if I do minus 12.235 minus 10.06, right, I will get this one. Okay, let's pick up this one randomly. Okay. So 15.270 plus 0.657. 15.927. You see the next request started at 15.928. Because it is hitting the APIs immediately one by one, which is no gap. Okay, so in a real time servers they're designed in such a way that they will expect that there's some gap in request so the server can process. That's not immediately for each and every user. Now it's clear, right? Start time and response time.
Yeah, Ravi.
Okay, now what we'll do, we'll put a timer between these APIs so that the gap will be there as real time, and the server can handle the processor request because there is a gap. It's not like immediately. And it also represents real time. Let's see. So let's take here the product page to add product page, because in the product page, right, user will think, or user will sometimes spend some time to read the document or read the product or understand the images or checking the options. All it will see, right? At the time there is no server activity. Correct. So after that, you will click on add to cart.
Okay.
So you can put any gap. Just I'm taking this as an example. So now right click, add timer. Okay. The first timer we will be seeing in the constant timer.
Okay.
Okay. So now here you can see thread delay. How much time you want to delay our thread?
Okay.
Okay. By default it's milliseconds. So if I give 3000 means 3 seconds.
Okay.
Correct. So now if you remember the order of JMeter components, right? So I kept timer here, I kept request here. So which one will I mean the gap would be 30 to 37 or 29 to 30. Where the gap will come? This 3 seconds gap.
While opening this page product.
I mean, yeah, 29 to 30 or 30 to 37. In which two requests the gap will come?
Both the requests.
Let's run and I will explain the question. Table. So let's see. Let's add 29, right?
Yeah.
29, 26.984 plus 2.461, 29.445. So the next request should start actually at 29.445. Correct. But if you see here, it started at 32. Let me do minus when it started 32 point.
Time we have.
32.451. See, the 3 seconds gap it came here.
Okay.
Ideally it should start at 29.445 based on this response time, correct? But it started 32 because it took a gap. JMeter took a gap of 3 seconds, then it started the next request.
Okay.
Okay, and if you calculate this one, 32.451 plus 0.766, this one, 33.217. You can see 33.2. So there is no gap between product to cart, but the gap between 29 to 30.
Okay.
But we want a gap between the add to cart, right? Before add to cart, we want a gap. That's why we kept timer here.
Okay.
But the gap created between 29 and 30. Why? Because in our JMeter order, timer will execute first before the sampler. So after 29, we have the sampler and timer. So timer will execute first. So that's why the gap got created between 29 and 30. Okay. So, but now I want to put a gap on add to cart, right? So then I need to put this to add to cart. Now what will happen? Where the gap will be there? The gap between now 37 and 30. Correct.
Okay.
Let's see now. Okay, 37 and oh sorry, sample time got sorted. 30 and 37. Okay. So now let's see. 13.384 plus 1.070. 14.454. But when it started, add to cart 17 point minus 17.455. So you got 3 second delay. Okay, so now why it came between this product and add to cart? Because we had a timer to add to cart. Okay, so now if I put this delay to 28, so now tell me where the gap would be.
Between 20 before execution of home page to
28.
home page to 20.
Okay, so now we have put a gap this of checkout page 43 now.
42 to 43.
Because 40 to 43, because timer will always execute before the sampler. Okay. Now if I put to logout page,
Okay.
last one.
Between 43 to 44.
Okay. So now if I put in the first request.
First request after the 300 milliseconds it will start.
Super. Yes, after the gap of 3 seconds it will start. So no one has answered this one. They said that it will start directly, but you said exactly. So now let's see how we'll check this one. If I click on this logs, right, this exclamation mark. If you check this exclamation mark here, we can check when this started.
Okay.
This is JMeter started the engine.
Okay.
The very first second. And if you check the home page, it started 36. You can see 3 second difference. Otherwise, these two times should be similar.
Yeah. Understood.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Now clear, right? The timer and placement.
Yeah, clear.
Yeah. But in a real time, do you think every user will give 3-second gap?
No.
See, if I put this one, if I run with 100 users, right? All people will come at login page and take all people at 3-second gap and they will go to next one. And all again 3-second gap and next one. But that's not real time, na? Because everyone, some users who has very good at system or good at browser, they will take more time. Sorry, less time. Other the people who have less knowledge on computer, they will take much time.
Yeah.
A lot of times. So then we have to simulate the loading that way, na? So I can't come here, I can't put 3 here, or next time I can't put 5, next time I can't put 10. So then we will use a random timer. Okay, let's disable this one. Let me add one more timer. Add timer Gaussian random timer.
Okay.
Gaussian random timer. So this timer will help us to create a different times. Okay, so Gaussian means they will use Gaussian formula to calculate the time. Okay, and random means randomly it will give you the time. Correct.
Yeah.
So let's see. So here this timer will work on Gaussian formula, which is the value range from -1 to 1 Gaussian factor. Okay, so let's calculate how this works. Okay, so Gaussian factor is from -1 to 1. Okay, and the deviation is there, right? So it's deviation, and what is the other value? Constant delay. So the time difference is Gaussian factor into deviation plus constant delay. Okay, suppose if I give deviation as 5 seconds and constant delay is some 8 seconds. Okay, so now tell me, let's take a minimum value, -1. -1 into deviation is 5 plus 8. What is the output? 3.
This 5, this 8. 3.
Let's take maximum value. 1 into 5 plus 8. How much? 13.
5 plus 3.
So this will create gap between around 3, around 13, and between 3 to 13. Anywhere near these two values or anywhere between these two values. Okay, let's see. Let's put same values here. 5 milliseconds, 3 milliseconds. Okay. So now we expected it should be around 3, around 13, or between 3 to 13. Okay. So let's see. Let's calculate. So where we added this timer? 30, 29, and 30. Okay, let's see. 38.537 plus 0.671. Okay, 39.208. So when it started, minus 39.614. See, now it took around gap of 0.4 seconds. Okay, now let me run it again. Okay, now let's see again. 29, when it started 22.028 plus 0.598 minus when it started 23.811. See now 1.185 seconds. So every time it will generate the sometime. It could be anywhere. Okay, 1 minute. Yeah. Okay, let's run again to check was there any gap. So it's random, right? We can't determine when it will come. Okay, 29 08.893 plus 0.612 9.55. Now when it started 11.507. See now 2 seconds. It's clear, right? How Gaussian works.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So now you'll think, what would be if this formula is wrong, and if I make this as 0 to test this formula, whether really it's working in that way or not, if I keep this as 0, what should happen? Because I give 0, na, deviation should be 0. So then whatever constant is, that should come.
Okay.
Correct. Let's check. So now I given 3 here. Oh, so it's 8 I given. Oh, I given 3 here. Oh, shit. That's why it's coming around low values. Oh, okay, fine. Okay, let's put 3 here, right? So we should get 3 seconds gap now.
Okay.
Let's see. So 29 started at 57.912 plus 0.734 minus 61. Let's say 61.653. See, 3 seconds.
Yeah, okay.
So assume that the formula is working in that expected way. Okay. So this is the timer. So what right now we have seen the constant timer and Gaussian random timer. So similar way we have other timers too. Okay, add timer, uniform random timer, Poisson random timer. These two you can check in home. It's the same concept, but we won't be using much.
Okay.
Okay, so constant timer and Gaussian timer are important. The other two can check in the home. Remaining you can ignore. And we have left with one more important timer called synchronizing timer. Let's see about this timer. Okay, now I will put Let me disable that one. Let me put add listener users table here to better understand how each API is working. Okay. Suppose if I run with 10 users, what does it mean? What does it mean if I run with 10 users? I want to hit all the APIs by 10 users.
Okay.
And
It's
users are parallel.
Yeah, same time.
Same time. So
Hmm.
can you give guarantee that whether all these APIs will hit at same time? No.
No, depends on
Because depends on the previous response. If previous API is taking more time for one user and other is taking very speed, so this next request will go fast.
Hmm.
And here we given 1 second ramp up. It means I want to hit at a 10 seconds only, but still it's not a guaranteed for all the APIs. Generally, what we thought, if you give 10 here, the gap between user to user is increases, so it will hit very gap. But if you give 1 here, it will hit in immediately. But it's only for first request only, mostly. Because after that, based on the user, based on the thread, based on the each response time, it will hit slowly. So now let's see. So now I added virus able to this request so that we can see only one particular API. Exactly.
Okay.
In the bunch, we'll get confused, right? We can check out there, but safe side. So now we observe strip 43.3 to 4, 4, 5, 5, 7, 6, 49, 44, like gap. It's not at same time.
Yeah.
Okay, and if I check in the main table, here if I sorted with the label, right? See, all add to cart, it will throw here. 44, 44, 48. But there is a gap. At least millisecond gap is there.
Yeah.
But now, if we take some use cases, where like our Tatkal, right? If they want it exactly 9:55. All the logins should be at 9:55. So we with this setup, we can't achieve that one. So how we'll achieve that exact concurrent test for particular API? So then we'll add a synchronizing timer. Add timer, synchronizing timer. Let's see. So whenever you add synchronized timer, it will try to balance the APIs at the same time. Okay, let's see now. Now let's again. So we didn't configure anything, right? We just added. By default, there are 0, 0. Let it be. If I clear and run, so observe for this particular API. 0, 0, 1 is the difference. 0, 0, 1.
Almost same.
So what happens till this API? Okay, running out of time. Okay, it will only have 10 minutes, right? Just again log in there, same thing. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So what happening? So what happens in time, right? Till this point, it will wait for all users to complete APIs. How many APIs we have? 1, 28, 29. So JMeter will wait till all the users to complete all the APIs, then only it will hit it.
Okay.
So then only it will achieve this one, right? Otherwise, if it started 5 users, another 5 users pending, it can't achieve this one.
It will wait. Okay.
JMeter will wait. Whether see out of 10 users, if 9 completed all these 3, 1 user got pending at 29, it has to wait.
It will wait. Okay.
Okay, then only it could be take whatever the time it could be. Okay. So if you do even 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 1 minute also it will wait, then only it will hit all this.
Okay.
So this timer will help us to put or hit the request at same time.
Okay.
Okay, concurrency for individual APIs, not for whole load. Okay, but now assume that if there is some more gap, like user is waiting for particular request more time. That's difficult, right? To hold all other users. So if you
Okay.
have those cases, then we can use a number of simulator users to group by. If I give 5,
Mm.
means whoever has completed the first 5, it will go. So it will take 5, 5, 5. If you give 0, it will take a whole thread as a number. Understood? Now let's see. Let's give 5, right? Now you will see 5 as one set, another 5 as one set.
Okay.
See, observe 50.971 first 5, another is 51.14.
Mhm.
Because whoever has completed the first 5, it will do that. So let's check here.
Mm.
See. So here, first user, second user, fifth user, third user, fourth user. They completed first 5 and they complete.
Mm.
Okay. Now let's put a gap here. 10 seconds. What does it mean? The user gap is 1 second.
Mm.
So after first user gap of 1 second, second user will come. Correct. So now
Mm.
if we disable this timer, right? Let's disable synchronous timer. Let's check view results table. Now we'll see more differences. See, there's more differences because of 1 second of gap.
Mm.
True. Because of a ramper, the user gap is more. That's why the request also hitting late.
Okay.
Now if I enable this timer and let's check. See first 5,
Mm.
next 5. Even though you have a lot of gap between, but it will try to hit at same time. As given 5, it will wait for any 5 users. Whoever complete the first 5, it will go it. Instead of waiting for all other users.
Okay.
Because in real time, right, we're doing with at least minimum 1,000 or minimum 100, minimum 1 lakh. So for due to 2 or 3 users, we should not wait for the other things. At that time, we lose this option. It's nothing but group by group. 5, 5 group, it will do that. If you give 0, it will take all default number. Okay. Now we have other option, timeout. So if you want to keep, suppose if even though if you give 5 and even though users are taking time, right? So if you want to go proceed, then you give a time here. If I give 2 seconds, na, so each request will wait for 2 seconds only. They might wait for 2 seconds. After that, it will continue with whoever as there. Okay. It's clear, right? Number of simulator users and timeout.
Mm.
Hmm?
Yeah, right.
Yep. So these are the timers. So in a home, you have to try other things, but these 3 are important: constant, Gaussian, synchronizing.
Okay.
Okay. Huh. So I'm dropping the, let's reconnect again so that we can save the time. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm just ending meeting, just join the same meeting again, or I will share the new link again.
Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Mm.